around the world, and welcome back to All Things Filipino. We'd like to thank you for your subscriptions and your likes, and if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. Right now, we're going to find out why Filipinos speak the best English in the world. Let's go to the video.
This is Tina from Happy Capsule. Welcome to our new channel where our mission is to create a community that is well-informed and interacted at the same time. We're going to bring you some awesomeness from different people at your doorsteps. Plus, we're going to answer your questions about the Philippines. So for the very first episode, we're going to talk about why do Filipinos speak English well and how often Filipinos speak in English. So come with me, guys, and let's go find it out.
Well, I think it's because that it is in our curriculum, and that's why Filipinos are trained, or Filipinos are well versed also in speaking English.
We're part of a Western, we have Western influences like media. Me growing up, I was watching cartoons that were in English. I think that was it influenced me a lot. And then we were also influenced by the Americans.
First of all, I would think that that's because of the one of the major influences is the existence of the BPO industry. Ever since call centers have been established in the Philippines, a lot of Filipinos wanted to be a part of the industry, not just because of the good compensation, but I think it's a good environment. That's why a lot of Filipinos are learning really good business English.
We were under the kuan man no kining American education system probably tungod ana. Hilig kag basa, di ba? Filipinos love to read. Most of the medium nga gigamit sa tong eskwelahan pod English. Unlike karon lately nga nigamit nag Bisaya.
Influenced by American by the US. So that's why Filipinos speaks English very well.
Most of the times at work and in school.
Most of the time, I think 60% or 80%.
Bro, almost every day siguro, di ba? Every chance they get to talk, di ba? Maggamit og English, whether spoken or written. No.
Exactly.
Even chat.
Students, so every day, okay, it's included in the curriculum. So it's a good way to improve our speaking.
Every day we adapt to the English language. Don't use some words kay dili ka ng pure Bisaya. Even the Filipino Tagalog, there are words that are from the English language.
We call it like Taglish.
Yes, and I have many classmates who are Konyo.
What's Konyo?
It's half Bisaya and half English.
Well, I still agree that we need to encourage our kids to speak English because that's how we compete with other nations. So that's how we become competitive.
Because it's a universal language. So if you're taught early, like in elementary or grade school, we learn earlier, and actually language is best taught early age.
Di ko pabor na kay what if ini dako sa mga students trabaho call center. So unsa nila pag qualify kung dili sila fluent mag English.
I would really prefer English because I am really into globalization. Mother tongue, it's good. It's a way of reaching out and making more emphasis on certain topics, but the use of English and our way to globalization is
Mo may mando karon sa Department of Education, di ba? I think there's a good reason nga no ila nang gina-implement, but I hope nga there sound basis to do that.
Wow. And in my opinion, the Filipinos speak some of the best English in the world. You know, I went to high school and college, and I took 2 years of German in college, and I did pretty well, and I was very good with grammar, and German's a pretty hard language, actually. many irregular verbs. I took 2 years of Spanish in high school and 2 years of French, and I still can't speak the language. And so I'm totally amazed at Filipinos and their ability to speak English so well. It's very, it's not easy, but, you can learn a language, go to school, but their conversational English is really great. And you can communicate with them very easily. And so, I've been throughout Europe, and Europe has a great education system. Primarily, of course, Germany and the Nordic countries, such as Denmark, Sweden, Scandinavia, those kinds of areas speak English very well, especially the Germans. And some of that has to do with the U.S. was there for a long period of time with their military bases, the same as the Philippines. When you leave Germany and the Nordic countries, France, the English is not so great. Spain as well. They can speak English, but not, as fluent as the Philippines or even Germany. And so for the Filipinos to speak English so well is truly amazing. And I've worked with them on a very long basis. And I can tell you that the standard of English is very high. And of course, my wife speaks excellent English. And they all do, to a certain, to a great degree. And their conversational English is really, really good. And so, of course, when they first come over on the plane and they land, of course, they're in shock. So my wife was in shock for maybe, 6 months. She was like, you would talk and she'd be like, And, many Filipinos, when they come over, they feel the same way because the speed of the language is so fast. So, of course, they're used in the classroom, perhaps, but the speed is so fast. And, of course, the slang. The slang, of course, and the idioms in America can really throw people off. And so even to this day, I'll say something and I'll have to make sure she understands. Not because she doesn't speak English great. She does. My wife speaks English great. It's because it's slang and they've never heard it before. And the speed of the language is so fast. But I really have to give, a lot of credit to the Filipino education system. And they really work so hard. And when you compare it to Germany and the other European countries around the world, and of course India, English is a secondary language of theirs. But when you compare it to Germany and other places, the English is top notch. It really is. And the Filipino education system is so successful because of the dedication of the teachers and the students and the parents. They are in this endeavor and they know that English is so important for their development of, not just their family and their children, but also for the country. That it's really, they do it because it means success. And so for my wife's father, he basically told her, I only want you to watch American movies, American TV shows. And so when I first spoke to my wife, I was blown away by her ability to speak English. And of course, she really worked on it too. And a lot of Filipinos do. And they work on it from early grade school onward. And it's really amazing. They can teach so many people. And because of their dedication, the Philippines is one of the greatest English-speaking countries in the world. It truly is. And I have to say, because their education system is so strict and so tough, I think in some cases they're producing better English-speaking students than the U.S. as far as writing and reading and speaking. I truly believe that, all right, because they are so tough on the students. You can't just easily graduate high school in the Philippines. They're very tough, and college is even tougher. And they're gonna grade you tough. They're not gonna let you by. So when you graduate high school and you get an A in English, that means you have really earned it and worked really hard. And of course, I really give them a lot of credit and props and everything because I know how hard it is, to instruct people and to really educate them in anything. And of course, language, is difficult. And now some people are better than others. right? And so, you'll notice that some people say, I didn't get that perfect. My wife's like, I didn't get that perfect. It doesn't matter if you got it perfect. You get 90% of it and you're speaking and you understand what's going on. That's amazing. And so for a lot of Filipinos, they know 3 or 4 languages. They know English. Then they have to know Tagalog. And, they're speaking probably, another language, local language or dialect. They might know 3 or 4, maybe 5 languages in some cases. And that is truly amazing. And I don't think the Filipinos get enough credit for that. Especially since the school system there, it really depends on the parents and the teachers for their success. The government gives them some money, but not as much as, Germany or the U.S., And so in the U.S., we always complain we don't have enough money, for the schools, but I can guarantee you the Philippines is not even getting half the amount that the U.S. is. And in my opinion, the Filipino school system is doing an outstanding job, with the limited resources they have and the talent of their teachers and students to me, and the families who are really supportive of them is just amazing. And their whole country speaks great English, and sometimes it's not perfect English, but they can understand and they can speak, and it's just wonderful. And so I really hope that in the coming years that, a lot of people go to the Philippines as a tourist destination. And of course, as a business destination. And of course, a lot of Americans, as we saw on the video, know Filipinos, mainly from call centers. And they call the call centers, especially for cell phones and other things. And they're dealing with, Filipino customer service reps. And I can say, firsthand, because, we have, a cell phone company that has call centers over there in the Philippines. And the Filipinos get it when you talk to them. They understand what you're trying to say. They understand what's going on and maybe why, you're not in a great mood or something about what happened, with your service of your cell phone or whatever. They understand it. They understand customer service and they understand efficiency and politeness. And so it's so great to see in that video of all those people, right? They talk about, she goes, hello, sir, hello, sir. And, in America, we've kind of lost that politeness. And it's so great to hear that in English, people being so polite and formal. Hello, sir, thank you, sir. Please be polite to us. And I have to say that, 99% of the time, Filipinos are so polite. And it's such a great thing to hear in English because we don't hear that too much. Sir, ma'am, hello, thank you, goodbye. You're welcome, all those different things. And, as the viewers were going, the reactants were going over in the video, they're talking, of course it's from the American influence. The Americans were there for, quite some time, from 1898 up until the 80s with the military base. And it's still that kind of brought in a strong American influence with movies and call centers and business, and also people going to the U.S., especially California, going back to the Philippines, so forth and so on. And so that kind of built that relationship, but also the Americans, helped to build, an education system in the years when the Philippines was a colony, and the Filipinos built upon that system in so many tremendous ways. It's, to me, it's, one of the best education systems in the world, dollar for dollar, peso for peso, and the students are some of the best students in the world too. And I just think that's just a fabulous thing that's really developed in the Philippines. And I hope that tourism goes there. A lot of people go to Thailand, for instance, as expats, foreigners to live, and for vacations and things. And so I really hope that people go to the Philippines because it's so easy to travel around because everyone speaks English. People can understand you, and they sort of understand American culture, and they understand what's going on. You don't get that everywhere you travel in the world. Sort of that familiarity with sort of America and the way people act and what they expect and things of that nature. And so I think that's really a plus and a benefit for the Philippines, and I really hope a lot of people travel there and they experience the Philippines firsthand, and see how great the English is. But You know, when you meet a Filipino, you have to understand the sacrifice their parents put in, sacrificing everything for their education with money and time, and the teachers who don't get paid very well, and sacrificing for that generation. And I just really would like to thank them and tell them that their efforts are not in vain. That the whole country, like everything else Filipino, is a community effort. And they've done it on a family basis, on a government basis, on a one-to-one basis, and it has produced one of the greatest English-speaking countries in the world. Okay? And so I hope everyone goes out there and experiences the Philippines and how great the Filipinos speak the English language. All right? So have a great day out there. Speak English. Have a great time. And be well and peace out.